Carey at centre-half back. So they've swapped ends, the two gun defenders and forwards.
The game gets underway. Carey at centre-half back playing on Kernahan. The two skippers on each other. Bradley gets the first kick out of the middle. Mick Martin makes sure it doesn't reach Silvani, who's started at full forward. Chandler out of defence for the Kangaroos. Allen, who started off winning in the middle. Pearce, good mark at centre-half forward. The breeze and northerly across the ground, so it'll take this kick left to right.
And watching the reserves, Drew, kicking for goal was very, very difficult.
Just another key matchup. Blakey on the wing on Koutafidis as a one-on-one.
Brad Pearce from outside 55 metres, won't make it. Silvani going the punch. He got caught behind Martin, so actually had to play full forward like a full-back, and the ball finished up out of bounds.
And talking about Carey, I saw him last week against Melbourne. He went to centre-half back in the second half, and so they've elected to start with him again today. Now, he's doing the ruck work. It'll be interesting where he doesn't actually put his arm up. Here's Wayne Swash trying to take it away from Pearce. A quick little hand pass. Carlton supporters appealing for a free kick. It's at a half forward for the Blues. Extremely windy conditions. The umpire, Martin Ellis, coming in to bounce it. And these are conditions that are difficult for even players as highly skilled as AFL players. Luckily now at Carlton, it's almost totally enclosed, so they get a little bit of a respite from the breeze. Roberts, who was brilliant against Melbourne last week, beaten by Allen. Still at halfback, taken by Chandler. To the centre of the ground. Koutafidis latches onto it. He can't get a good bounce. Bradley is there also. Now McKay. McKay's bumped out of the way. Taken by Robert Scott. On to Blakey, who's back in the side. Blakey with a quick kick to the half-forward line. The race is on. Here's Johnny Longmire. A chance for the first goal of the game. He bends it back. Oh, he should have let it bounce, I think. Oh, this could be holding the ball against Hanna. No. Over the top was Hickmott. Hold. And finally, to clear it for Carlton, racing away out of defence is Justin Murphy.
Murphy to the outer wing, a terrific chest mark by Pearce, who led very hard at that ball. Kick towards half forward, past Kernahan it goes. King gets back. Carey at centre half back. Defensive side of the ground, it beats Stevens, and the ball goes out of bounds. In between half back and wing for North Melbourne. No score as yet. Coaches have turned their sides upside down. McKernan in the ruck on the ball against Allen, and Schwass jumping over the top of both of them. Camporelli pinned by King. The umpire will ball it up.
David King has been a very good player for North Melbourne this year. Well, for a number of years now. He's running play from half-back. There he is on the bottom. Pretty tough customer too. Former Port Melbourne boy from the old VFA days. Now the VFL, of course. Centre wing, no score as yet, and a free kick off the ball here, and it will go to David King. Now off he goes. He loves a run, and he usually kicks long. He does. He's flattened as he kicked it. Oh, this is a free kick down the ground to Glenn Archer.
Oh, it's a report for Camporelli.
Yes, it's misplaced aggression, isn't it? The free kick was given away, but the free kicks down the field really should never be paid. It's just over-exuberance.
Well, here's the kick. Archer, you can see that breeze. Is that a mark inside? I think it is. Is it McKernan? Corey McKernan right down there. The goal umpire had a good view of it. Now, what will this talented player do? He's got a couple of options.
Mick Martin's come up from full back, and he's 25 metres out from goal. He wants to kick.
Look at this camera shot. He's going to check side, and he bends it a little bit too wide. He was. The idea was right. If you're a good left foot kick from there, Lee, it's often good to run onto your left and have a left foot snap, isn't it?
Well, so that's very close in angle, because you're really only going to be kicking the ball. Here we see it's marked. And again, as you say, Pete, the check side kick, or so many players kick them these days, it's hard to say. They're not good percentage. But coming out on your left side, opening the angle up by 5 metres, it's not a difficult kick.
And Milhana in the back pocket, and Mick Martin's gone all the way back to full-back to pick up Silvani after offering the lead. Mark's built by Kernahan and taken over the boundary line by Chandler for a throw-in. I think we'll see a lot of the play today over on that far side of the ground. That's the way the wind is blowing. And Mick Martin must be in pretty good nick. He doesn't look as though he could blow out a candle. He's just done 2 lengths of the ground. Allen palms it down. There'll be some big packs here today as well. and it could be one of those low-scoring slogs, but it could be tight. The 4 premiership points so vital to both teams here today.
Interesting situation off the ball there. There we see that Camperali is trying to get on to Schwass, who's basically trying to get on to O'Sullivan. Again, almost the defensive forward role that Camperali is intending to play on Schwass.
That's Corey McKernan with a quick kick to the half forward on desperation by Archer. Here's Allison racing into goal, steps it low. I think it's a goal. Yes.
Yes, good play by North. They've just got the ball forward, and certainly any goal that's scored up to this right of camera is going to be a bonus, because the wind is very strong, very much favouring the left to camera end that Carlton are going to. Again, Archer McKay matched up. Good desperation there by Archer just to allow the ball to drop into Allison's path, who was able to kick the goal.
First goal on the board took 6 minutes. Back in the middle, North 1-1, Carlton yet to score. McKernan beats Allen. Bradley gives chase with Stevens. Well done, Craig Bradley. What a season he's had. High ball to Silvani. Carey getting back. Great pace, Whitehead. What a bad effort by Whitehead, who kicked 4 in the second half last week. He gets the Blues' first score behind.
Yes, and that would have been a miraculous shot from there, as he was pushed off balance. Now, David King's been using his weight pretty vigorously down there on Camperelli. He's a tough customer. He's also blessed with a lot of skill. So David King, a low trajectory kick. Oh, that's a good mark. It floats in the breeze and is taken by Schwass. Wayne Schwass drives with a beautiful kick way out here to Adam Simpson. Now he's got a paddock to run in. North looking all right early. He centres it down towards full forward. Good use of the body by Longmont. Oh, goodness me. I thought that was strength. He can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. The umpires have changed their whole thinking about body-to-body contact, but there's no doubt, really, that should have been a mark, in my opinion. I don't think that was a free kick at all.
Oh, I just couldn't believe it when he played it. There's King getting it further field to Simpson. Roberts is a valuable play for North. He drives it up high. Sexton goes back. Longmire did the spoiling, but taken away by Hannah.
No one to kick to, Milhannah. Goes towards the outer side. The ruckman are there, Allen and McKernan. Neither touched the ball, but watch, over went Allen. Now have a look at this. This will be a great contest.
This is just body use, isn't it? Just holding the player off. Boy, I've seen some shoves in the back let go.
That's every week that goes on, about 50 times.
That is just Longmire with the better position, and he held his ground. Should have been a mark.
Test for the boundary umpire to throw it into this breeze there. Allen wrenches it away from McKernan and kicks up towards centre wing. Chandler's been prominent early. Bell, Stevens, and the kick by Stevens going close to the line. It hasn't got over yet. Taken over by Koutafidis. Down towards half forward for North. North 1-1, Carlton 1 behind.
So goals will be hard to come by. Looks like Blakey with the job on Koutafidis.
Yes.
And Allen flicked over the back by Mark Roberts. A free kick in that ruck contest. It's going to North Melbourne to McKernan. And Allen's arguing too with the umpire. So Corey McKernan, a vital player in this North Melbourne side, looking for Longmire, chipping in. Brilliant mark by Hickmott. That was a top mark. So the former Geelong utility player drives out in the direction of Sexton. He read it well. Gives it off to O'Sullivan. He's on his favourite left boot. He goes for a hand pass to Kernahan, who was covered. Strong tackle down here by Schwass. Umpire calling play on. Schwass, hand pass to Chandler. Chandler can come to Carey. And Wayne Carey drives to half forward. At the back was Archer, flicked back with a backhanded punch, and that was by Andrew McKay.
It's interesting, isn't it, that Silvani, who's regarded as maybe the best fullback ever, is playing full forward. Wayne Carey, who is regarded as the best centre-half forward ever, quite possibly, is playing centre-half back. So just goes to prove the flexibility of these great players.
Well, Stephen Silvani has kicked 6 and 5 in the last 2 weeks. Ball's knocked down to Dean. He's taken high, and Peter Dean will take the free kick for the Blues at half-back. Danny Stevens just off the bench for North Melbourne. And that one went against Anthony Stevens. Hacked out of the air by King. Sits up well for Murphy. McKay back to Ratton, who was Carlton's best last week. O'Sullivan. Now, mark or out of bounds? Now, that's either out on the floor or it's a mark. I don't think he juggled it over the line.
He didn't juggle it, did he?
And he's ruled a throw in. Well, I'm mystified by that one.
Well, so am I. Maybe there was a slight juggle that we might have missed. Murphy gives it further afield. Camperelli receives from Clappe. Camperelli again. O'Sullivan. This is Ratton. He's looking for Silvani. He's got a couple to beat. Was that a free kick? Umpire said no. Sock it off the ground. Matty Allen races after. Kudavides is there. Blakey's hot on his hammer. Blakey usually. Oh, is that deliberate? Yes, the umpire's pinged him. I don't know where else he could have gone, but he did go straight at the line.
I think along the line. You've got to go along the line. If you go straight out, you're going to get pinged every time.
Kudavides to Silvani. He's covered. Oh, that North Melbourne defence doing well. Pike with that wobbly kick, but it's very windy conditions, and over the line at half forward for the Blues.
Now, we talked about this one out of bounds. Is this a clean mark, one touch?
Well, it did appear. Maybe he just bobbled off that right hand just a fraction. The idea is you have to control the ball before it goes over the boundary line. Obviously, the boundary umpire adjudicated the ball wasn't in control.
Roberts wins the hit up. Down goes Archer. Good body work. McKay, Murphy, Clappe. Setting up well, the Blues. Peter Dean, the veteran, to centre half forward. Silvani's there with Martin. Great punch by Carey, and he's after it like a rover. Well, that'll test the shoulder. Looked all right there. Hickmott. Oh, what a tackle by Chandler. Ball pinned to him. The umpire will ball it up. Terrific efforts.
Oh, gee, he had no hope. Terrific. Look at this tackle.
Still, it was mainly a right-hand tackle, wasn't it? No, I'm talking the Wayne Carey effort that didn't actually lay the tackle, but only one hand went out.
Yeah, fantastic by Carey, that big punch away. McKernan flicking it over the back, knocked on by Scott. North looking good early. Dean gives it to Kudafides. Silvani, oh, Mickey Martin's fallen over. Oh, Silvani can't get there, and Martin's there to punch it through from behind. Oh, gee, I thought that was a certain goal coming up.
Well, you would actually. Silvani and Martin, they're two of the very best body-to-body wrestling type marking players there is. I mean, and Silvani, I don't think is going to be able to shove Mickey Martin around like he can some of the more lightly built fullbacks.
Well, David King with pinpoint accuracy has found Carey. He's getting the hoots of the Carlton supporters. Allison couldn't mark, no free kick. Taken by Kudafides, who sprints clear, drives a goal. It's a wobbly one that clears the two. Oh, free kick. It might be Silvani's kick against Mick Martin for either a push or holding or both.
I'll tell you what, this is going to test the umpires, the duel between these two, because the way Martin and Silvani play every time they're in a body-body contest, it's a bit like which way should the free kick go? And they're both playing that way. Well, that time Silvani had the front position. He went to ground. From where I sat, it's hard to tell. Certainly the umpire was in a good position, and he gave Silvani the free kick, and I suppose, ultimately, that's all that matters.
Well, believe it or not, he's only 10 metres out. This is not an easy kick with the wind blowing the way it is. He will only have a kick at 10 metres, but even so, the breeze could be a factor. There's the kick. He might have got it, or has he missed it? No, he's got it. So Stephen Silvani has kicked Carlton's first, and they lead by a point.
Well, they are going with the aid of the breeze, although I suppose it's so blustery today at this stadium. It's still to be proven exactly which end is being favoured, but certainly here we saw again this body-to-body duel. These guys are going to be interlocked, Silvani and Martin. They both like to establish body contact, so it's going to test the judgment of the umpires for the whole day.
Well, Stephen Silvani from the free kick, continuing his goal-kicking exploits, gets the Blues first, and they hit the front by a point. Allen facing McKernan. McKernan likes to go early. This will be a great contest in the middle. Bounce favours Allen, and he wins it. But knocked by Scott. Goes to Bell. Scholl for North. And the ball held. And umpire Rowan Saws will ball it up just on the front edge of the centre square, going North Melbourne's way. Carey and Kernahan, the two captains playing on each other. Carey at centre half back. Ball hacked out of the air by Bradley. Mark to Pearce. Brad Pearce on the move. Wide for Silvani. Awkward pocket that. Back to Clappe. The hand pass is good. Close to the boundary line. Whitehead. Banana kick. Not bad. This could be a goal. Magnificent.
Well, you could hardly see daylight between the posts. Absolutely, yeah. Fantastic finish by Whitehook, but really it's that pace. I mean, he's an average player, I suppose, in terms of ability, Whitehead, but he is very quick. In Silvani, see how quickly he turned here and just dropped Martin off, and then really quick hands from Clappe. But this ability just to make the yard, just to evade the tackle, had to be a very good banana kick under pressure. But these last couple of goals to Carlton, they're very important. They've just got that 7-point lead.
So the Blues by 7 points. McKernan again versus Allen. Not a decisive hit out. Bradley tried to run through the middle. Stevens a quick kick straight up in the air. It'll be a mark though. Taken by Pearce, is getting a few touches early. Out wide is Murphy. Former Tiger trying to wait for a good bounce. He was a little bit unlucky there. Carey was covered, went for the line, and the umpire sensibly allowed him to do so. You've got to give the players a little bit of leeway. Although the Carlton supporters were screaming for a free kick. Steve Kernahan not as yet in the game. Carey will enjoy that straight ahead play. Kernahan over the back, taps it down to Ratton. Ratton a hurry kick. Dean turns around, it was touched off the boot. The crowd didn't realise it. Off the side of the boot out there by Mark Roberts. Carlton have got the numbers. Matty Hogg will get there first. He's got support from Clappe. Clappe has got time to stop and deliver. Allen couldn't mark. The diving attempt. Stevens to the centre of the ground, and he has found Adam Simpson.
Blues leading by 7 points. Simpson runs around Clappe. He's left-footed as centre half forward. Archer on. And Murphy gets in front of the wrestling protagonists and takes the mark. Justin Murphy at centre half back for Carlton. Breeze left to right for him, across the ground, half back to half forward. Plenty of distance with the kick, and it bounces on almost to the 50. Camporelli reported already. Sees daylight. O'Sullivan. Schloss gets him. Camporelli again. Back to O'Sullivan. It's out in the pocket. That's no good for the Blues, and that'll be a throw-in.
Interesting little foursome going on around the midfield situation there. North are trying to get Scott onto Bradley. Consequently, Bradley's trying to get onto Anthony Stevens, who's trying to get onto Brett Ratton. So there's a little four-player. We can see it on right of camera just there. There we have Bradley, and he's trying to get onto Stevens. It's an interesting little show of strength tactically.
O'Sullivan now. How will the umpire see that? Taken away by Chandler. He puts it over on. The umpire deliberating that tackle was fair, although the hands ended up at the ankles, but not in the original tackle.
Here we have, yeah, it's a good tackle. I mean, I think the tackle started around the waist, then it slipped down. Play on.
Forward pocket for the Blues. McKernan tries to tap it back. It's dangerous. O'Sullivan couldn't pick it up. Stevens working hard there. Taken by Whitehead. He's caught. Scott punched it away. Kernahan after it. Sweeps it wide. Racing after this freeborn. The late inclusion in the side. And a nice hand pass because it gained about 10 metres and bounced out.
It's interesting. The ball is on the half forward flank for Carlton. There was no North Melbourne or Carlton players forward of centre. Everyone's gravitated within probably 50 metres of the ball.
So we're not going to get any cricket scores today.
I wouldn't think so.
Mark Roberts to centre wing. Good mark for Scholl. On his chest, centre wing.
There's an open forward line in front of him. He'll try and kick it over their heads, and successfully done it, but not taken.
Oh, Longmire had the chance, but dropped the mark. Comes out for Sexton. Back to Hannah. It was just tipped there by Scholl. Hannah's hand pass blocked by Scholl. Kept in by Dean. Now Brett Ratton. The Blues having to set up. Murphy to Ratton. They're cornered. Back to Dean. Now in a bit of space is Hannah. Kicked by Milhannah to centre half forward. Chandler's been good early. Hand pass, I'm not sure Pike was ready for it. Centre of the ground, Sexton on all fours. Bell almost a one-hander. Chandler again. And there's nobody on the forward line. The only chance there is Archer, and he gets there well behind Matt Clappe. Kick by Clappe. Allen. McKernan. Difficult marking day. Schwass off the ground. Prepared to concede some ground and fight it out of bounds.
Yes, it is a very difficult marking day. Whenever the ball's sort of in the air and in its flight, the ball is going to blow all over the place, and that makes it difficult for the marking players to judge. And this little contest within a contest is actually going on. It'll be interesting to see which team, usually the team that's behind on the scoreboard, they're the team that have to give away this little group chasing each other around.
That was Matt Allen with a long hand pass, and Adrian Whitehead was collared. North are a hard tackling side, and I get the impression Lee North are quite happy to go over the boundary line in this first term and hold up
just
play.
Consolidate. One other interesting thing that's happening, Allen is going everywhere with McKernan, and Dean is taking Roberts. So when those two players switch on the ball and forward, a Carlton player has got his direct opponent covered.
Koutafidis with a quick hand pass. Taken away by King for North to the half-forward line. If they could sneak one up into the breeze, it'd be handy. Hickmott wide to Murphy. He's got plenty of time, Justin Murphy's going to chip it around. And the mark taken by Pearce. That's his 5th mark. He's coming up to his 5th kick. So he's looking quite dangerous, running into a bit of form.
This is what they had in their premiership year, which they haven't had since.
No, he was a vital player that year with that quick leading from the forward pocket. Martin at the back used his strength on Silvani. And it will be bounced about 40 metres out from the Carlton goal.
Yes, you could sell plenty of real estate on the North Melbourne. Vacant land down there at the moment. They're pushing them all up, then trying to run back with the flight of the ball.
Longmire and Sexton, the only pair in one half of the ground. This is at the other end of the ground. And once again, it's over the boundary line. That's the defensive pocket. A lot of play over there during the day, no doubt. 2-2 to 1-1, so it is low scoring. You're getting what we promised. Allen with the glove, palms it down to O'Sullivan. He had no time to move before Schwass got him. Pike once again happy to go for the line, and the breeze helps it out.
This is the hardest I've seen North Melbourne tackle for weeks.
Well, it's going to be important today. I mean, it's not going to be a free-flowing game. I think we've spoken of the breeze quite a bit, and it's almost gale force at about 30 knots. It's not the game where you're going to be hold possession and have links of possessions. You're going to have to just work it and get it forward. Getting distance forward is just going to be so critical.
Well, that was Koutafidis to O'Sullivan. Hogg underneath it, couldn't quite hang on to it. Goes in again. Camporelli drives the half forward. The Carlton players everywhere. Koutafidis races in, stabs it low. Oh, he's missed it. But as we said, it will be a tough day kicking for goal.
Yes, he had the chance, Koutafidis. He didn't really have another step. He made his yard to balance, but the North player was just pressuring enough to make sure he couldn't get completely and utterly balanced and wasn't able to keep the ball on line.
David King with the big responsibility of kicking in now. He's got plenty of room to kick it to himself. He's looking out wide. Carey is there and McKernan. I think you'd back McKernan here. And his name written all over, but he's off. Carey waiting for the bounce. He can have a bounce, but he elects to kick it to half forward. He's looking for Longmire. Couldn't mark. This is where they've fallen down a couple of times North. Murphy in front. Longmire tries to get in the hand pass. Ellison. They lock it in here at half forward. Well, almost to the centre, in fact. And the umpire will bounce it.
Matthew Campbell down on the boundary line. Is that blowing your hair about down there?
Yes, Drew, it is. And North Melbourne will be pretty happy with it at the moment because it is, even though it is going to the other side, it does favour Carlton. If it's going to go long, it's going to go to their end. And so only being one goal down, they'll be pretty happy at this stage. But here's Cooter.
Intercepting a hand pass by Pike, but once again he kicks poorly, and that misses to the right. So he's missed left and right.
Yes, it's hard enough to kick 55-metre goals, and that was the distance that Koutafidis kicked then, even on a still day when the breeze is blowing it round a bit. You're just not quite sure where to kick it on a windy day because you're just not positive how much the wind is going to affect the flight of the ball.
So Stevens couldn't mark. Good effort by Kernahan. Is that holding the ball? No. Peter Bell gets in a hand pass. That's good umpiring to let it go, and really it should be earned the free kick.
And didn't you see Anthony Stevens then? All he could do then here, Anthony Stevens, Again, this was a good tackle. The ball fell out of his hands, but when it went to the boundary line, Stevens, he just second effort, barreled the ball over to start again for North.
Oh, Mark Roberts, a brilliant hit out. Socket off the ground by Swass. McKernan is there. McKernan again almost threw it away. Here's Scott. He breaks the tackle. Now they're a chance. Roberts in the middle of the ground. He'll probably try and play on. He's got a running player here. Oh, he had to go backwards, Blakey, but he controlled it. Beautiful kick to half forward. And this man can really kick a ball shoal. He's found someone. It's Robert Scott. He's marked 30 metres from goal, almost directly in front.
As we've mentioned a couple of times, Robert Scott is involved in this little four-man tussle in the centre square there to try and get their direct opponent. He was trying to get Bradley, as we mentioned, but this time he was able to sneak clear, and that's the case probably where Ratton and Bradley, and neither of them are really accountable for Scott. He's been able to find the space, earn the shot at goal.
Well, on windy days, this is normally the best side of the ground to kick for goal from, so let's see where it goes. Oh, he's hooked it. And actually, the breeze didn't do that. He actually hooked that kick.
Well, this is the problem with the breeze, isn't it, Pete? Because you're never quite sure where to aim for. I mean, on a still day, you aim for the centre of the goals. But on a windy day, you're never sure exactly where to aim, and your mind plays tricks.
And in the pre-game warm-up, they weren't down that end of the ground having a few shots either. They practiced down the other end.
Practicing down the outer end.
Carlton leading by 8 points. Hannah Koutafidis gets under it, and McKernan takes the mark for North. Forward of the wing, outer side. Into Blakey. Blakey with distance. Longmire's the only hope. He's had a few chances. Archer. Scholl. Allison. Well, he hit it so hard he couldn't take the mark. And luck's a fortune, it goes to Craig Scholl.
No, free kick. It was paid as a high tackle against Hannah, as Hannah kicked the ball prior to being marked by Scholl.
Brett Allison arguing his case with umpire Martin Ellis. But Neil Hannah takes his kick. Kernahan juggling, is that a mark? No, play on. Oh, the Blues fans won't be happy with that.
Yes, I think it was a raffle between those three, wasn't it? Kernahan, McKernan and Carey. I certainly don't think it was either player's mark. Was touched by a whole lot of them, really. I think play on or the ball up, as was called.
Gee, it's an ugly pack there. Koutafidis takes it over the line.
North Melbourne's half-forward line. There's Dennis Pagan. He's not looking all that happy. They've had a few chances. They've gone forward. Their forwards haven't been able to capitalise. Gee, they are going in hard, putting pressure on Carlton. There's Robert Scott with a quick kick to the half-forward line. Archer back with the flight. The ball bounces over the line.
Well, Pete, John Longmire is nearly their only chance on the forward line. Hasn't taken a mark and has had just one kick.
Well, unfortunately for him, we thought he'd taken one. The umpire pinged him for interference. McKernan and Allen. Allen with a big fist over the back. Punched away by Scott. Allison was there. McKay. A hurried kick. Punched by Peter Bell. No, but he couldn't spoil Ratton. This is Bradley. He's been well contained so far. He brings it in towards the half-forward line. Carey left. Oh, that was a well-judged mark. He's getting the hoots of the Carlton supporters, but he's found Mark Roberts. He should be bringing it in long. He chips it into Scholl. Good mark. Now, Freeborn's run clear, but he's covered now. He should be putting it up in the square, Scholl. He's doing just that. Oh, the siren sounds with the ball in flight. In a tough, hard first term, wind conditions very, very difficult, Lee.
Yes, they certainly are. I think North would be happy with their position at the moment. Carlton played okay, had 6 shots at goal, but it would have been far different if it was 4 goals too. But the thing is, with this swirly wind, it's not going to be easy to be able to kick goals, so Carlton still got the lead.
Carlton 2-4-16 to North 1-2-8. Start of the second quarter. After a slogging first quarter, the Blues by 8 points. Allen took a big leap but missed the ball. Ratton got it. Bad bounce for Pearce. Ball punched out of defence by King. O'Sullivan, Pike on his hammer, and Pike takes it to the line. Luke O'Sullivan, he's strung together more games this year than he has really in a long, long time. celebrated his 50th game earlier on. He seems to have been around for about a decade and a half.
Yes, and he's very highly thought of at Carlton. A terrific clubman, Luke, and that's why they've hung on to him through a lot of injuries. There's Robert Scott to half forward. Hannah caught behind. Scholl's looking dangerous down there. He's got enormous marking power. He gets back, and look at that low trajectory kick. Longmire! Free kick to Longmire against Sexton, and I don't know whether that's a square up, but I thought that was a little bit
Well, I
soft
think
too.
very quickly in this quarter, you've got to get the front position. Doesn't matter which direction you're kicking, the ball is going to not travel the distances with or without the wind. And again, whether that was a free kick, certainly it was Longmire with the front position holding back, and that was it. If you're in the front position, you're going to get the majority of the free kicks.
So John Longmire, a vital kick coming up from 45 metres. The breeze will be a factor. He drives a goal. That looked good off the boot, but there's a hushed silence down there, and you know he's missed. Once that cheer squad behind the goals doesn't start jumping and waving those flags, you know he's missed. So the Carlton kick in will be taken by Justin Murphy. The half-back, Allen's got a couple to beat. He put the big fist out, though. Socket off the ground out there by Blakey, and over the line, way out at half forward for North.
Well, the way Murphy kicked that ball in, I'm not quite sure whether this breeze is really favouring either end, to be honest. I think it's just swirling all over the place. Certainly from full back, Murphy's probably kicked the ball maybe 60 metres, so that's not indicative of kicking against a strong wind.
Roberts in ruck. Scott tried to rove it. Archer pops up a hand pass. Pike did very well. Allison just inside the line. He trapped it well. Chopped off by Hickmott. He got one high, and Hickmott will take a free kick. Brett Rapp putting a headlock on Scott. But the ball will come back to Adrian Hickmott. He goes short, still in the defensive 50 to McKay. Carlton 2-4, North Melbourne 1-3. Kick by McKay. The two skippers vie for it. It clears them, and once again it's out of bounds. We're going to need long lenses on these cameras today. It'll be over there all day. Lee, just a chance quickly to talk about, was there a dilemma for David Parkin with Allen coming back this week and Porter after his great debut last week?
Well, it obviously would have been a dilemma, but certainly the decision has been to go with Allen, who has played a few more games than Porter, and Porter is on interchange there if he's needed.
Hogg was caught very high there.
What you often find, however, because both Allen and Porter really are ruckmen and not really key position forwards, it's going to be tough for Carlton to get both of them on the ground at the same time.
Matthew Hogg to the half-forward line. Pearce, a nice mark. He's given it off to Bradley. Bradley running around the boundary line. Plenty of time to steady and drive it long. A chance for Clapper. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it. Now he can go. He's caught. They lock it in as a tunnel ball job, almost a throw under the legs. And it's a behind to Carlton.
Further to that point you were talking, Drew, about Porter and Allen, I suspect if David Parker knew the conditions were going to be so windy, he may have actually only taken one of the two in, which I assume would have been Allen, given that Porter has started on interchange.
Oh, gee, I'll tell you what, John Longmire is very stiff not to be caught then for throwing the ball. He scooped it up under his legs and threw for a point.
Well, there is about a 75-metre kick in from defence. Hogg the hand pass. Back he goes to Hickmott. McKay. Andy McKay up towards the attacking 50, but wide. And makes it pretty easy for the defenders. And John Blakey gets over the top to knock it out of bounds. Hamill, Rice and Porter with the dark hair, partly obscured just at the back. Terrific debut last week. Coming off the rookie list, Justin Madden was retired. Last week, Allen was suspended. Porter played and was great. High ball by O'Sullivan. Punched down by Martin. Hasn't cleared the 50 yet. Hand pass comes out. Stevens up towards half forward. Oh, bad bounce for Allison. Murphy is there with him. Allison tackling hard. Ball spills to Archer. And now out of bounds, but this is the attacking side. So a chance here for North.
So looked very dangerous in that first term, North. I thought they had the better of it, even though it wasn't on the scoreboard. Just looked a little bit more dangerous, but the Blues, they don't get beaten at Optus Oval too often. just outside 50.
It's interesting when we talk about the big fellas, the position, I think, or the situation where Carlton have an advantage is in the ruck work when Kernahan rucks against Carey. I think in that situation, Carlton are very much advantaged.
Well, that time it was Archer over the back. Bell, hog head, tried to get it to the boundary line. Little Peter Bell dives in after it. Allison waits, kick forward. Towards, taken away beautifully. That was by Sexton. The Stevens who was down there who kicked it, and the mark has been taken here by Wayne Schloss. To Carey. Well done to Pike. Pike with a low trajectory kick to the full forward line. Well done by McKay. Some holding. Which way? It's going to Carlton's way. Free kick to McKay. Advantage paid to Murphy, and Pearce has dropped the mark at half-back. Well, a free kick down the field now.
Well, I tell you what, I've seen some non-contact umpiring, but this takes the cake today. Every time there's two bodies come together, one player who loses ground's being free kick.
I agree with you, Lee. There's some terrible decisions going on. It's all right to pay free kicks, but boy, now here's another free kick.
That's the advantage that actually was paid, but he's reversed the advantage. It was a free kick originally to Kernahan.
Yes, well, that's good umpiring then. In towards half forward, over the back, Clappe. This is a chance for the ball. Oh, bad kick. He's kicked it straight to Mark Roberts.
Oh, Mick Martin, you're in trouble. Kernahan's just... Silvani's got it. Loses it to Martin. So Mickey recovered well. Gee, he was under the hammer then. Oh, good mark in the middle of the ground to Scholl. Chance for the Kangaroos here. Through the middle, Danny Stevens. Long kick to full forward. Allison dives at it. Free kick, Allison.
This is terrible. I have never seen this in all my time in football. Every time there's a body contest in a marking situation. So if someone changed the rules, I mean, that was the high tackle, I suppose, if you really look at it closely. But it seems like as soon as two bodies go together in the marking contest, one player's going to get free kicked. I'd say at the moment, the players out there all of a sudden wouldn't be knowing what they're allowed to do.
So Brett Allison will kick from 20 metres directly in front. Here's a good kick for goal. He's put a mark about 5 metres in front of him to aim up with. And he stabs it low and puts it through for a goal. So now there are 2 points in it. A really close, tough contest. The Blues lead.
Well, it's in this situation, Roberts had fed the ball off to Martin, and all of a sudden Silvani got it back, and Mickey doesn't muck around. As soon as he's in trouble in defence, he kicks the ball down the other end. Shoulders troubled Hannah, again got the front position. Have a look at this one. Wow, geez, if that's a free kick, it's an extremely technical one.
The Kangaroos have only kicked 2 goals. Allison's got them both. The whole game has provided only 4 goals.
And I think Murphy telling him how lucky he was to get that free kick.
McKernan against Allen. Allen wins, but Scott was there for North. Schloss absolutely buried. Wayne Schloss, I wonder if he'll be going to see the All Blacks tonight. His grandfather played for the All Blacks.
It's interesting at the moment in the north forward line. I think Scholl is troubling Hannah. At the moment, also Mackay's on top of Archer, but at the moment I would say David Parkin would be thinking, have I got a better matchup for Craig Scholl than Mill Hannah at this point?
McKernan and Allen. And the umpire will come in and bounce it. Again, this is umpire Mark Nash, number 14. It's a vital game for both clubs. There's going to be a lot of spirit out there today, a lot of hard tackling and desperation. And look at this on the left of screen.
And that has been going on for the whole game, and it's still going.
It's quite humorous to watch. Peter Dean. That'd be a mark. I must have been touched or not the required distance. Adam Simpson to half forward. Craig Scholl has been looking quite dangerous. Socket off the ground. The race is on. Andrew McKay got there first, headed for the boundary line. And he had to get the benefit of the doubt because he gained distance. The North player there, number 38, was Danny Stevens. So outside 50.
On Monday night with the boys on the couch, Lee will be there with Chris Grant, the Western Bulldogs champ.
So just outside 50, Peter Bell, who's been a good player this year, bends it back. Allison almost marked it. He's got it. Hooks it back over the shoulder and too far. I think he panicked a little bit. It wasn't to know he was on his own.
And no, he did. It's interesting also the ruck contest. I mentioned when Kernahan competes against Carey, that's in Carlton's favour. I think the reverse applies when Roberts competes against Dean. I think Roberts is a better ruckman in those boundary throw-in ball-ups than Dean is.
Certainly kicking a long way out from fullback, both ends. Flips over the back to Allen. Wide to Kernahan. Carey takes him over the line. The umpire calls for the boundary throw-in. Well, Lee, that little four-man run-around that you've been talking about, and you say, well, it'll be the losing team that'll change it first, but nobody's losing.
Well, that's exactly why it's still going. I mean, you tend to just go and say, and I think the term is impose your will. You try and impose your will on the opposition, and you continue to do that until the scoreboard goes against you.
Longmire benched for the Kangaroos and Crocker on. I must confess, Longmire's had a lot of chances in the open for very little result.
It's been an almost game, hasn't it? Got his hands to the ball, but just hasn't been able to hold those couple of marks that would have been really critical for his performance.
Well, if this is a point or two the difference all day, these four will be at it for 2 hours. Koutafidis, great hand pass to Pearce, who's added life on the forward line. O'Sullivan steers it low. Pape, good mark. He replaced Greg Williams in the selected side, Matt Pape. They dashed to the forward line, which had been vacant up until then. Defensive side, kicking into the breeze from there. He wouldn't kick a goal, so he's got to find a teammate, and now they're all covered. And there'd been 20 players in this attacking 50. So he tries to crib a bit of distance, kicks into the man. Mick Martin thumps it out, but straight to Dean. He goes wide. Once again, the defensive side, Hickmott.
It's a long, long way in from that side of the ground against the breeze at either end.
Hogg, back to Dean. They've had lots of possessions and haven't advanced the ball. Still outside 50. Camporelli, Bradley, the most space he's had all day. Craig Bradley, Kuda! Oh, good mark. Stood his ground, Blakey.
John Blakey drives way out to centre wing. North have got the numbers. Peter Bell will get there first. He's got plenty of time to have a bounce. Yes, he'll have one. He elects to kick it this time to the half-forward line. Diving attempt was by Archer, Hatter and Scholl. Matty Campbell is down on the boundary line.
Yes, Drew, you mentioned that it might have been a couple of hours ago it's going to be so tight. The clubs are just now starting to use their interchange bench. We've just seen Crocker come on, and now Dean Rice is warming up because it's going to be important through the midfield as we get to that last quarter.
Craig Bradley, you can see him sweating up there. It is 18 degrees, but he's working pretty hard.
Over the back was Roberts. Bell knocked it on. That was good play. The Roberts Scott. McKernan couldn't hang on to it. He's got it, the big fella. Oh, he went for a hand pass. It was smothered. Grabbed by Camporelli. Almost caught. Andrew McKay has got it and drives it out long. It'll be out in the full. So it'll be a penalty kick out there, and I think it'll be Blakey to take. Or is it a free kick down the field? It's a free kick down the field, and to be taken by Koutafidis.
Oh, the wind is proving troublesome. Out of bounds on the full.
Sometimes it's interesting because all the players are going to be over the other side to try and get a player clear on the attacking side of the ground, even if he just ignores his opponent, because really going around that outer side, you're not going to score at either end very well. It's just so hard to bring the ball back in.
2-5, plays 2-4, Carlton leading by a point. We're past the midway mark of the second quarter. Tough conditions here. Carlton, for years, almost unbeatable here at their home ground, but they have lost twice here this year to Geelong and the Western Bulldogs. Danny Stevens got a hand to it. Dean, near the boundary line again. Number 38 is Danny Stevens. And once again, out it goes. Now, that's from one end of the ground, from goalpost to goalpost, so there's nobody on the broadcast side of the ground. All 36 players are on the far side of the ground. Dean wins in ruck, goes to Koutafidis. He's had a disappointing season. Lift now, Kuda. Good long kick. Ratton. Martin's done well on Silvani. It goes to O'Sullivan. Bradley inside 50. Showed them the ball, took it away from them. O'Sullivan, back he goes. They can't advance the ball, the Blues. Taken off the ground by Pike. Great football. Anthony Stevens.
defensive play that was by North Melbourne. Some holding, not paid. Sexton races after it. Here's Hannah. He's caught. That'll be a bounce. That's good umpiring by Martin Ellis. No free kick in that one. So the bounce right on 50. It was terrific lead, that defensive work by North up there.
He's doing well, Mick Martin. As I mentioned, Stephen Silvani depends on outbodying his direct opponent. But Mick Martin, I don't think Steve Silvani is going to be able to outbody Martin in those strength duels.
Carlton's last goal, as we saw, 15-minute mark of the first term. Here's Swass, danger for Carlton. Oh, great smother, taken by Pearce. Here's Dean Rice. Chip it into Whitehead. Now they've got loose players everywhere, Carlton. One of them is Camporelli. He's got it way out at half forward. He's forced to bring it in short. Good lead by Kernahan. There's nothing Carey could do about that. And this is the side of the ground to shoot from. Murphy's lost his boot as Kernahan kicks for goal across his body. No doubt about distance. And behind, so goals hard to come by.
Yes, no matter which end you're kicking, it's very tough to kick the ball any distances and kick it accurately. I think, as I said a few times, the wind is so blustery, the players are having trouble determining exactly which direction to aim at.
David King, look how far he can kick this ball. Well, that's gone a good 70. Pushing, mark to Carey. In fact, it won't be a mark. The push free kick was paid to Allen. Now to Bradley. Bradley back into the breeze. Silvani! Not bad for a fullback, is he?
Well, it's this body-to-body situation. Again, I think the ball was kicked in quickly. That was the key. Allen got the ball on to Bradley, who drove it in quickly. And again, Martin didn't have body contact. He read where he thought Bradley might have been going onto his left side there, but he was just able to hook the ball back enough, Bradley, just to give Silvani maybe a 55-45 advantage, and that's all Sauce needed.
Silvani for his second, gets it! That's over half an hour between goals for the Blues. 3-6 to 2-4.
Well, already it looks like if a side could be guaranteed of kicking 10 goals, they're probably going to be able to win the match. But again, Martin just lost the body contact, and he was just able, King just didn't quite read the ball flight well enough to spoil, and Silvani put the ball out right with the breeze, and it came back for him.
The margin now 8 points, a vital goal. Kicked by Steve Silvani's out kick to Matty Campbell with an injury report.
Yes, Dean Rice replaced Adrian Hickman, who's got a knock just below the knee. They're checking his shin bone just below the knee, and they're giving it a nice old rub, so maybe a problem for Adrian.
So the umpire bringing the ball back because he had paid the advantage, and then it didn't work out to the advantage.
Just a glancing blow, high tackle.
So Koutafidis to the half-forward line. Big punch away. Rice is caught. Gets in a hand pass. It was Pike who gave that punch. Here's David King. He loves to run. They want a goal quickly. Their forward line's been a bit disappointing. Crocker. Oh, nearly a good mark. Not quite held by Sexton. Gets his boot to it. Rice marks. No, he doesn't. He's at half back. Murphy. North very disappointing up forward. Pearce ran a long way. Has a bounce. Sweeps onto his left foot. Danger because he kicks it to Silvani. He's got 3 to beat. And a free kick to Silvani. Shepherding. And Mickey Martin has gone mad.
And, well, there was no doubt that Mickey Martin stood his ground so that Silvani couldn't get into the marking contest. But Shepherd, well, gee, he certainly held his ground, Mickey Martin, and I suppose his arms were outstretched marginally, and given the way this body contact or non-body contact umpiring's been going today, was a definite free kick.
Oh, disappointing kick by Steve Silvani. He has missed, and Mickey Martin would be breathing a sigh of relief. We certainly disagree with it.
Well, I think the difference is, Pete, you've got to be able to hold your ground, don't you?
Yep.
You're standing your ground. Again, he's put his arms out. That was the difference, but I honestly possibly think he's just holding his ground when Silvani's pushing in behind him. For me, that would have been play on.
Well, the crowd getting involved with umpiring decisions here. They haven't had many goals to cheer about, just 5 goals for the game. King kicks in a mile again. Down goes Kernahan. Well done, Scott. Blakey. Terrific play, Koutafidis.
And the two captains off the ball are being unhappy with each other at the moment. Carey and Kernahan, and the free kick has gone to Kernahan. Can't touch him today. Not allowed to touch an opponent today. That's the rules.
Yeah. Well, the free kicks are 14-6 in favour of Carlton. Silvani, the crowd want more for the Blues. Now that's 20 free kicks, and we've got 7 minutes
Now,
to half-time.
I was watching that situation off the ball with Kernahan and Carey. They chested each other, gave each other a little shove. Not a lot in it. No free kick. Very officious umpiring today. I've got no idea why today, all of a sudden, you're not allowed to touch your opponent.
Carey works for the line and gets the ball out.
So there's Anthony Stevens without the helmet. Now what's happening here? Not a free kick again off the ball, is it? No, they're just a couple of players being warned. It's all that close attention there on Bradley. Look at this, pushing, shoving.
I think there's 6 of them involved now. I think now Campriali and Schweitzer got involved in the little
well, it is quite entertaining.
Now a 6th and Pete.
There's the big punch away. It goes to Pearce. The punch was from Carey. Silvani. Over the back, Mickey Martin. Was it a mark? It was. And Mickey holds the ball aloft to the hoots of the Carlton fans down there behind the goals. So colourful players, or shoal flies, normally takes those. It was a good attempt. Socket in midair by Bell. McKernan's big hands go out. Cleverly done. That was great play by McKernan. They need a goal, North Melbourne. Allison caught it. He's got it. Let's see what this half forward can do. On the right foot, bends it back. Oh, great goal. Top play by Allison on his non-prepared side.
And how many people would have forecast before the game that Allison would be North Melbourne's only goal kicker at the 22-minute mark of the second quarter? Again, as we've mentioned a few times, very hard for marking forwards. Again, the quick kick forward, and just Allison, he just was able to read the ball a little better than Murphy. Being defender, Murphy was looking for Allison's body, and the end-over-end bounce, good a way as any to get him through.
North have only kicked 3 goals for. Allison's kicked 3-1. Just as well he turned up. Roberts applying the tackle on Bradley. Bradley somehow gets the kick away. Chandler charged at it. Pike gave it to the opposition Whitehead. Gee, it's all tight, isn't it? Simpson. The ball to half forward. Scholl palms it for Roberts. Has to follow up himself. Hannah caught by Roberts. The whistle's gone, free kick to Milhana. The Blues getting a dream run with the whistle. Off to Rice. Kernahan pushed under it by Carey, and the mark paid to the North captain, Wayne Carey. Any amount of North players. Roberts drags it in one-handed, outer wing.
You mentioned the stats, Drew. 15 free kicks to Carlton, 6 to North, just to make it a statistical point.
Robert Scott with a wobbly kick. McKay, gee, that was a good mark. A floating ball, a vital mark. And he's delivered it with precision out here to Pearce. Pearce kicks to a contest. Silvani and Martin right up on the half-forward line. Oh, great pick-up by Steve Silvani. Oh, was that high? It was. And it is Stuart Anderson to take the kick. Let's go to Silvani.
Come on, Lee, explain it.
I'd love to, but
I can't work that one out either. Here's Carey. It's a free kick in the marking contest to Blakey. Carey's looking good at centre half-back. Oh, he took a punt then. He could have had that ball smothered. McKernan. Oh, good mark. Oh, you've got to pay that umpire. Allen. Here's Pike. Stevens. To centre wing, the bounce. And I think all the players... Oh, no, it stays in. It's a bit of pushing and shoving going on behind the ball. Sexton. What is the umpire? Free kick to Carlton here at half forward, is it?
I think players are getting extraordinarily frustrated by this umpiring.
I hope that's not... believe that pushing and shoving we just saw. That's nothing. Matty Hogg has it punched away by Bell. This is Pearce, almost caught, brings it up high. Courage needed underneath this ball. It floats in midair, and it's a mark this time to Bradley.
Craig Bradley's had such a wonderful season. They've talked about him perhaps winning the Brownlow, but he's been kept reasonably quiet today in tight quarters. Whitehead snaps offline, out of bounds. Kick a wonderful goal in the first quarter.
And a big win for Mackay, because Archer is being interchanged. Mackay been well on top in that particular one-on-one duel. So Longmire back on, Archer to interchange.
Adrian Hickmott's running the boundary line. He's moving okay, so that's good. Simpson flies at the back, can't mark. Ball once again out of play.
Did you consider Archer to the back line and Carey to the forward line?
Well, you have to think about it, but I mean, the match is just tightly balanced.
Yep.
And I think neither coach really wants to go a long way from the way they set it up pre-game, because things are just tight. It's going okay. Let's not panic.
3 points the margin. This is anyone's game. Two evenly matched sides. And at stake, really, you lose a game at this time of the year. It's just so tight at the top. The loser of this just goes back that rung. That's why they're trying so hard, both these sides. Roberts against Dean. It's knocked on. Peter Bell. A mark taken by Dean after that quick kick. Here's a loose man at half forward. It's Kutafides. Kutafides going wide. There's an open space here for Camporelli. If it sits, he's got it. Oh, shocking kick as he hurried it. He's put it out in the full.
That's the pressure from Stevens. Danny Stevens got across there to make sure that he just didn't have that extra step to get balance, Capriali. So a possible goal was spoiled by really good, solid defence.
Carlton crowd giving it to Wayne Carey as he takes the free kick into play. Blakey up very high, couldn't mark. Simpson. Kick smothered. No mark to Allen. Play on some. Up to the 50. Just over Roberts. Good hands, Whitehead. Good speed, Whitehead. Kick the goal. Oh, he hooks it back too far. They are hard to come by. Carlton 3-7. North Melbourne 3 goals 4. 3 goals 8, the Blues.
So 4 points the margin with David King to bring it in, and about 2.5 minutes to half time, David King, oh, beautiful kick to Carey.
The defensive side, though, it certainly gets North out of trouble out there, but gee, it's a long way in to get a North goal on the other end.
Oh, look at that magnificent kick by Carey. Travelled about 60 metres. The race is on pace. Look at the pace of Swass. Sock it off the ground, and instead of coming down the middle, he actually goes back towards the boundary line in the finish. 178 AFL games, and he has been a fantastic player for North with his he's burst, the way he bursts clear and kicks long. Dean. Taken away by Adam Simpson to Peter Bell. They could really do with one as they go forward this time. Some pushing and shoving going on again. Roberts. Here's Allison. He breaks clear. Allison, bang! He's kicked another one. Oh, what a goal. You wouldn't believe this. Brett Allison has kicked all of North's 4 goals.
Yeah, quite amazing, wasn't it? The free kick was played, of course, and the advantage went North's way. Again, the body contest, the ball floating around in the air. The marking players didn't even touch it. Again, that was probably going to be another free kick, but Allison was good enough to finish and goal, so North have hit the lead. There is absolutely nothing in this game.
So North Melbourne in front, and Brett Allison's doing all their goal scoring.
Interesting, Carey has gone to full forward, and Longmire back on Kernahan at centre-half back.
And Blakey having trouble picking it up, ridden into the ground by Kutafides. The umpire will ball it up.
Well, the forward line has been a little bit disappointing, really, the time they've gone.
Both sides would say our forward line's struggling, 3 and 4 goals apiece. Yes, but as we said, you sometimes play with your pre-match planning, but North, Dennis Pagan has decided, OK, Longmire to centre-half back, Carey forward, that might give us a better chance of scoring.
Ratton takes it through a big pack, loses it to Schwass, no distance with the kick. Anthony Stevens up to the 50, attacking side of the ground for North. Hogg gets back there for Carlton and sees it to the safety of the white line.
But one thing that hasn't altered is that little foursome in the centre square. It's still going on. That for Scott, Bradley, Stevens, now Campriali's joined in, and Simpson has gone on to Ratten. So at least they've changed one of the four.
Roberts, one in ruck. It sits up for Allison, another chance. Rice takes it away. Hand passes coolly under pressure to Murphy. Kick by Murphy to half-back flank. Campriali punches. Hamill tries to knock the ball on. Simpson to King. Good setting up kick. Carey is there. Always a danger man. But he's underneath this time. Sexton goes for the line. The umpire calls for the throw-in.
He actually gained a little bit of ground.
He's far enough away. There's probably 15 metres from the boundary. I reckon if he'd been 5 metres away, he probably would have been pinged. He certainly went for the line, but he was a long way from the boundary, so it should have been thrown in.
I think the umpire was dead right. Here's Hamill on the ground. He's at half-back. We've got half a minute to go till half-time. Kernahan, well, he's not going to have it any easier because Johnny Longmire's down there now to defend. And Carey's not going to see much of the ball in this half. Down there, being moved to full forward. Well, he's down there with Allison, actually. Now, Roberts and Dean. Murphy, Pearce on the right boot. Bends it back to the half-forward line. Punched away by Chandler. And over the line, 50 metres out from the Blues' goal. They are down by 2 points.
Pearce is the leading kick winner on the ground with 11, and he's also the leading mark taker with 8. Roberts' tap goes to O'Sullivan. Silvani with Martin. Oh, Mick goes to ground. He's lost it. Hogg on the forward line. Matty Hogg. Oh, he might have missed it. I think it just struck home. Right on the siren for half-time.
Well, wouldn't the crowd be roaring if it had actually been the end of the game to put Carlton in the lead? But certainly it's been a great half of football, tight and tough. Again, the wind just floating the ball all around the field, so 4 goals apiece. Carlton had 8 behind, so they've got the 4-point lead. But certainly this is a real tight contest. We're just certainly the umpiring is.
Once again, the two skippers on each other, Carey and Kernahan. Second half gets underway. We're just about where we started, with just 4 points the difference, but they've taken a lot out of their legs in the first half. Oh, a head clash. Down went Dean and North Melbourne opponent, and Johnny Longmire holding his head as he gets up. The ball's gone out at centre wing, and John Longmire at the moment is seeing stars.
Yes, he's got the wobbles, John Longmire, no doubt about that. Let's see, I don't think there's any bleeding, but certainly, yeah, very hard when there's a clash of heads.
Boundary throw in, Kernan wins. Pike, Scott, Longmire. Oh, he's seen the football as well as stars. Well done, Johnny Longmire. Just about doubled his total of kicks for the game with that. Down to Scholl, open goal square, but it won't make it. Sexton gets back. Michael Sexton, an excellent defender.
Yes, he reads the play very well, Sexton. Gave it across to Murphy, then received it back. No mark, but he's recovering Longmire. David King loves to run. He drives it up to the pocket. The North player's not reading it well. And McKay has had the better of Archer. He's played very well, Andrew McKay. They need Archer to lift. Half back. Matt Allen, is that a mark? Yes, 3 or 4 bites of the cherry, and he has taken it. Now, out wide is Luke O'Sullivan. It's kicked out in front of him. He'll probably have to swing back on. Did he keep it in? Yes, he did. Now he's caught. To Rice. To the half-forward line. Kernahan pushing and shoving up there. Carey trying to go off the ground, Wayne Carey, and that familiar waddle of his as he goes after the ball and taps it over the line on centre wing. Johnny Longmire looks as though he's right.
Looks like he's okay. It's interesting how Archer is back on, virtually playing full forward again, opposed to Andrew Mackay, who's been well on top in the first half. So I think North lead need a real lift from Archer up there.
So Blakey grabbed that out of the after the throw in and was caught by Dean.
Allen's still on the ball there, Lee. Mark Porter not used. Do you think he'll get a run at all?
I doubt whether he will, because they're going to use Allen one-on-one against McKernan. I can't imagine Porter being of any value as a key position player, so I suspect that providing Allen is on his feet playing reasonably well, that Porter might spend the day on interchange.
Interesting for a kid who debuted last week and was so spectacular. Among the votes, kicked by Roberts. McKernan is there. Allison is a long way from goal, but he's kicked 4. McKernan's hand pass in. Overrun by Clappe. Off the ground, Roberts. Oh, here's a chance for Allison. Guess what? He'll probably kick this too. Yes, he has! That's 5 out of 5.
Well, this is quite amazing, isn't it? 5 goals to North Melbourne, 5 goals to Brett Allison. Certainly it's his day, no doubt about that, and he was against the breeze from that far forward pocket. Here it's the forward pressure. He's under pressure, Roberts. Get the ball going forward. Don't try and set it up too much. It's amazing if you kick the ball quickly forward, how often a teammate will be forward of the play waiting for that possession.
North Melbourne by 2 points, and of their 5 goals, Brett Allison has kicked a lot. And he is kicking them from everywhere. Taken by Stevens. A hurry kick to the half-forward line. The bounce important here. Sweeping across the back. Peter Dean doesn't attempt to pick it up. Danny Stevens is after him. Oh, good play and gained a few metres.
And Dean Rice came on for Carlton late in that second quarter. He's Allison's direct opponent, I suppose, in terms of who. Let's have a look at this. Oh, face to face, forehead to forehead. That hurts.
So Longmire, he's recovered. I thought he might have even a head clash like that. You normally get a split forehead. Now here's Rice giving it back to Koutafidis after receiving from him. Across the ground to Andrew Mackay. He's been in top touch. Away he goes. This talented halfback in wobbly kick down to the half-forward line. Again, the bounce important. Pearce has got a couple to beat. One of them is David King. Oh, that was magnificent. Beautiful balance. Into Scholl, well, he sets it up. Roberts has it punched away. Here's Allen. Oh, cleverly done by Big Matty Allen. To half forward it goes. The flyer was Carey. Didn't put his arms up. David King, plenty of self-assurance as he brings it in low and finds Stevens still without the helmet.
Anthony Stevens. Yeah, wore the helmet for 2 or 3 games. Short of half forward. Anderson couldn't mark. McKernan, raking kick to the goal square. Archer! Oh, Allison! Allison for 6! Not this time. They're playing for free kicks, and this time the free's not coming. It's a baller. And Danny Stevens not happy. I reckon Mackay was over it, not getting it out. Gee, thought Allison was going to make it 6 out of 6. Here's Archer. Ball out of bounds. Now, you blokes kicked 800 or 900 goals each. Did you ever kick every goal your team kicked on a day?
I can't remember it ever happening in AFL football to my knowledge. I dare say it may have at some stage in history, but I don't know of a specific example.
I think in the early 1900s a team kicked 1 goal, so someone did. There's Mark Roberts! I think he's kicked it 2.
Let's finish that.
Yes!
Yes, I was about to say, Drew, it's a very good theory, but I'd be surprised if Brett Allison kicked every one of North Melbourne's goals. But more importantly, Mark Roberts has got the goal to give, for the first time, really an 8-point lead. More than that's 1 goal, and scoring is so difficult in these blustery, windy conditions. This is a nice, handy break for North.
David Parkin on the phone, looking concerned. The veins starting to jut out. This is crunch time for both teams, and Carlton find themselves 8 points down. Scott, good little kick. Roberts hits it hard. Went without it. Anderson. There's Allison up in midfield. Leaves it for Scott. North on a roll at the moment. Not a bad kick. Archer. Oh, couldn't quite. Pike on the forward line. Martin Pike, former Fitzroy best and fairest, takes the ball out in front of the Social Club for a throw-in.
And interesting, John Longmire went into the ruck for that centre bounce. McKernan has dropped forward for a bit of a spell. This is the time where Carlton would consider, should we keep Allen on or use Porter to give Allen a bit of a spell. So far, Allen's still in there.
Longmire won that hit out. This is Justin Murphy bending it back. Waiting for the ball there was Adam Simpson. And it's taken up. I must say that Carlton rely heavily, Lee, on the drive out of the middle of Craig Bradley, and he's been well held, which is really to their disadvantage.
Yes, he's got a bit of the ball, but you're right. He's this time and again he's still trying to get onto Anthony Stevens. Just at the moment, Stevens trying to get onto Clappe. So this has been going on the whole game. This matchup's around midfield.
Longmire gets it to Robert Scott. Oh, quick hands. That was good play. Adam Simpson puts it up in front of goal. Pressure on, but well judged. Taken by Murphy. Murphy brings it back to Hannah. We haven't seen much of Mil Hannah. Here's Matty Allen marking at halfback. North have started with a bang in this third term with a couple of quick goals. Centre wing, Carey, the big fist, Pike. Oh, well done. Beautiful football to Swash. Here's Archer. They need him firing again. McKay outpoints Archer. Terrific play, Andrew McKay. And he drives it 50 metres down towards Clappe. What a mark! Beautiful mark.
That was. King was going for it too. They were both going for it, but Clappe got there.
Oh, Sexton drops an easy one. That could be crucial. Whipped away by Anthony Stevens. Pike given a bit more mobility in this quarter. Marks on centre wing. Carlton haven't scored in this quarter. And North have had just about all the play. Stevens, McKernan inside 50. And this is the attacking side of the ground, so Corey McKernan, well, he gives it off rather than going for goal. And Murphy chops it off. I think Corey should have kicked it.
Longmire waited too. He should have attacked the ball.
Kick by Murphy onto the chest of King.
King to Chandler. Gee, North looked good. Chandler to half forward. Hadda read it best. And has taken the mark over the back. They're under siege, the Carlton defence. Koutoufides at half-back. Gets in a hand pass, then goes to try and grab it again. He's got support here from Hogg. Hogg looking for Rice. It's wide of the target. Rice, oh, well done. He knocks it onto Koutoufides. Centre wing. Whitehead. He spotted someone. It's Pearce. So Pearce way out at half forward, turns round and bends it back. He's looking for Silvani and Kernahan. It's punched away from Silvani, and that North defence doing all right.
Yeah, very solid back there. One has to say in the genuine body-to-body, Jules Martin's doing well on Silvani, and Carey's doing the same on Kernahan. So those two key defensive positions both going in North's favour.
North leading by 8 points. 13 minutes left in the third quarter. Scott takes it away for North. Once again, North seem to have been happier than the Blues all day to go for the boundary line. Get it out, start again. Now it's Longmire in ruck against Allen. Matty Allen played a lone hand today for Carlton. And Longmire beats him. Down to King. Glenn Archer off the ground and speaking to the coach. Sexton, kick smothered. Great smother by Allison, who's not only kicking goals, doing the defensive things.
Yes, and I think that'd be what Dennis Pagan would be most wrapped in, that smother then, and he wouldn't be happy because Archer's had plenty of chances, but he's just been outpointed.
Well, Mackay's been on top, come and met the ball in that instance there, so in that situation, yes, the Carlton man winning the contest.
Free kick in the ruck contest to Allen. I couldn't see that. McKernan grabbed it and tried to kick it. Anyway, Camporelli kicks it wide. He's looking for Murphy. It hangs up. And Denny Stevens is marked. Over to Roberts. Danger here. Roberts is normally a great kick. He drives at a goal across his body and one behind only.
Yes, it's interesting. I think when you're kicking to this right of screen here, well, from the 50-metre mark, you almost have to put the ball out to the right-hand side of the right-hand goal post because the ball is deviating anything into 10 metres, up to 10 metres in its flight.
Here's the kick in, and McKay takes it. Kernahan slides and marks. Over centre wing. Hickmott is back on the ground. We thought he was injured and gone for the day. And the balls are out off Murphy and have a throw. And there's Adrian Hickmott.
We're seeing a lot of what look like simple marks being dropped, but really, when the conditions are this windy, the ball blows around so much that any mark is a difficult one, even if it's uncontested.
Kernan into a big pack. Schwass blocks it up. Now, Pete, you look at Wayne Schwass's face when he gets up out of this. Does it look as though his grandfather might have played for the All Blacks?
Well, he was born in New Zealand, wasn't he,
Yep.
Wayne? So,
That's true. You don't believe me, do you?
I do believe you. I want you to name him, though. You've got enough information there, Drew.
Mr. Schwass.
So, centre wing. A vital few minutes coming up. Mark Roberts, King and Pearce. Oh, King, a beautiful mark. He put the hands out and grabbed it.
Good in the first half, Pearce, but King has actually worked his way on top in this third quarter.
Oh, little chip pass. Blakey, very slow getting rid of it and kicked it straight to Koutoufides. And Dennis Pagan wouldn't be happy with that. I thought he was a bit casual then, Blakey. Here's Schwass and McKernan, they had the numbers. McKernan, that's the way he kicks it 65 metres and gives the forwards a chance. Scholl is there. Koutoufides takes it away, smothered that hand pass. Stevens and Clappe come in hard after it. Freeborn, Stuart Anderson, Martin Piper's fumble. Pipe, back it comes to Anderson. He breaks the tackle. Anderson kicks it, goal! And has just missed, I think.
That's Blakey in the hands of trainers just behind play there. That desperate contest. Players charging from all directions, but he looks like he's okay.
North extending their lead to 10 points. So on a day where it's so low scoring, that is a huge gap. Just over 10 and a half minutes to three-quarter time. Milhana not too sure which way to go. Straight up the ground with a ball burster is not a bad option, but the opposition have it now. Here's Blakey, who's recovered and taken the overhead mark to the 50. Pike. And Carlton having trouble holding the Kangaroos up at the moment. Pike to the top of the goal square. McKernan underneath it. At the back, Allison. Back to Scott. Robert Scott. Shocking old kick off the left. Hannah didn't go 10. Play on, said the umpire. Scott gets him. It'll be a ball up.
I'm sometimes never certain whether the ball has to go 10 metres. I think it has to go 10 metres along the ground, not 10 metres up. It can go 20 metres up, but that's not sufficient. And when the umpire called play on, I think they're always sympathetic to the player who marks the ball.
Yes.
So therefore he balled it up rather than pinning Howe for free holding the ball.
Knocked on. Now the hand pass was by Stuart Anderson, knocked on by Bradley. Here's Koutoufides. He's caught. Loses the ball in the tackle. Pearce. Koutoufides again. Now Rice. See they could do with a goal here, the Blues. Rice bending it back to the half-forward line. Chandler, no mark. Taken by Murphy. Whitehead. Back it comes to Bradley. Bratton races in the goal, Brett Bratton. Oh, it's a disappointing kick. 1 point only.
Yes, very tough shot from that forward pocket, half-forward flank region, kicking into the teeth of the Blues.
Fraser Brown watching on from the grandstand. And if the Blues lose this today, you nearly have to write off their chances.
The Carlton players, Drew, have got their zone out on this side where the cameras are, basically, but they're not going to kick the ball out this side, I can guarantee them that.
So David King, Longmire, play on, might have been a push. Longmire overruns it. Rice. Well done, Anderson to Schwass. Schwatter. Twice best and fairest at North. Kicks to half forward. Hogg, who's had a tough time with Allison, takes the mark this time. In he comes. Clappe. Running off half back. Hickmott. Run down by Stevens. Now Danny Stevens has had a good game. His first for the seniors this year. It finishes up with Anthony Stevens. Now Roberts. He can kick the goal from the attacking side. It bends back, but not enough. That was a wide.
I don't think it did bend back, Drew. He aimed it out to the right-hand side where you would have thought the wind would have brought it back, but on that occasion it just kept on line.
Matty Campbell on the boundary line.
Yes, and we may see Porter come on. He's just got out of the bench here. I think he may be coming on. And also, guys, I think we may get a couple of spots of rain shortly. We'll make this lead even more important.
Yes, it's looking very dark over to the west as we see Bradley to the half-forward line. Here's Pearce. Good kick. Murphy has marked 40 metres from goal. He should have a shot. Good thinking that Porter is on. Listen to the roars of delight. Mark Porter, who was a star in his first game last week against Essendon, is on the ground.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see whether Porter, a fresh player, when everybody else has got that 2.5 quarters under their belt.
Justin Murphy, a vital kick coming up here from 45 metres. He's normally a great kick. He's drifted this one away as well. He's kicked it over the fence by 10 metres. But accuracy today under the windy conditions, very difficult.
In the old Hawthorn days, Pete played a lot of games as the home team here at Optus Oval. And despite the new grandstand being built down that outer end, when the wind's blowing like this, from where Murphy kicked, almost has to aim at the left point post for the ball to come back and go through the goal, such as the wind affects its flight.
So David King drives it with a 60-metre kick out in the direction of Longmire, who has marked.
Johnny Longmire's first mark for the day. Benched at one stage. From half back, that shocking old kick, centre of the ground, and the mark taken by Clappe. Just hasn't been with it today, John Longmire. Clappe, who replaced Greg Williams in the selected side. Diesel is here today, but he's serving his 9-week suspension. Punched by Carey. It's still there for the Blues. Whitehead tried to whip it on. King's been good. Bradley back at centre wing. Wants to go on. Craig Bradley's kick inside 50. Straight to Schwass, who made a meal of it. Camporelli's hand pass to Whitehead. Out to Pearce. Half volley. He couldn't handle. And Blakey Chandler.
Yes, good team play this by North. Stevens, it's missed the mark, but who's got the pace? Hannah gets there first. McKernan is after him, so is Scott, and Hannah quite happy to let that one roll over the line. It's down North Melbourne's half-forward line now. Coming off. Is it Freeborn coming off? I think I'll pick him up in a minute, but coming back on anyway is Danny Stevens. Half-forward for North. Rice doing the ruck work. Anderson, a quick kick. Sexton was grabbed when he didn't have it. It'll be a free kick to Michael Sexton at half-back.
Yeah, it's obvious free kick, dragged off the ball.
So Dean Rice with a sweeping hand pass, finds Hickmott. Now McKay running from half-back. He drives to the half-forward like Carey and Kernahan. Silvani taps it down to Kernahan, great play. The bounce, goal! Goal to the Blues, good play.
Yes, and the North Melbourne players protesting loudly that the ball was touched off Kernahan's boot, but in all honesty, a lot of goals are paid that are, strictly speaking, touch. Unless it really has a solid contact, it's just so hard to see what happens. Let's see if we can pick it up in close, slow motion here. Well, it's hard to tell. Obviously, King thought he touched the ball, but in those situations, I think the umpires are going to let it play on, which he did.
Was that a goal? It wasn't a goal. David King absolutely was convinced he touched it. Ratton gets it out of the middle. Porter one in the middle. He's just on the ground, the youngster. Pearce. Back to Camporelli. He centres the ball to centre half forward. Good kick. Clappe. He's missed it to the right. And it's 2 points the difference. North in front.
And wasn't it important that Porter got up at that centre bounce and got it flowing Carlton's direction? We'll be interested to see what effect having the fresh ruckman on has on this game. Just the ability to get the ball to Ratton, all of a sudden you're into attack. Good play by young Porter.
Yes, they might be forced to put McKernan into the ruck on him because he's got the spring to go with him, Lee.
Yes, he's had his spell up forward for this last 5 minutes. Maybe McKernan back in the ruck.
David King to the half-back line. It's no mark, but waiting over the back was Scott, who's played fairly well. The half-back line was now on centre wing now. Corey McKernan. Smothered that hand pass. Well played by Carlton. Sexton. Bradley, no mark. Robert Scott wearing him like a glove. Hand pass over the top, McKernan. He's looking for a further hand pass to a man who's covered. Stevens knocked out of his hands. Taken by Hickmott. He bends it around. Michael Sexton is marked on centre wing.
The Blues coming back a little bit here. Pearce takes another mark. He's taken 10 today. In the direction of Kernahan. Punched by Martin. Murphy on the 50, on the boundary line. Hooks it back. Blakey's there and takes the defensive mark for North. North 43, Carlton 41. And we have 4 3/4 minutes to 3/4 time. Blakey to Pike. Pike the centre half forward. Archer caught behind, and good to see Hickmott back.
Yes, they're doing well with half back there, Carlton, particularly Andrew McKay. No mark. Hand pass by Longmire, 20 metres backwards. King loves the run. He can keep going if he wants to, but he now elects to drive it long and low. Mark Roberts, great use of the body. Pearce is down behind the players. Scholl bends it back. A bounce important here. Oh, it's gone the wrong way. It's a wrong one. Instead of the leg break.
Yes, Pearce has landed awkwardly from that marking contest.
Let's hope it's not the knee.
Yes, at the moment
That would be tragic.
the trainers are indicating that he may have to leave the field.
Gee, that doesn't look good, does it? He got up very high.
Yeah, the right knee buckled a little on the way down. We'll just hope it's not too serious.
Well, from the kick-out, Adam Simpson has chopped it off and taken the mark for North Melbourne, as Brad Pearce, who today has probably played his best game since coming back, unfortunately is being carried off. Pearce, 18 possessions, 10 marks, and we're nearly 4 minutes short of three-quarter time. That bends in the wind and goes through for a goal to Simpson. Well, that was a kick that really did start at the behind post and got through.
Well, I think you have to down that end. I mean, the wind is just such a factor. There's no way you can aim anywhere near the centre of the goals, or even the goal opening for that matter. I think you have to put it out towards the behinds and just trust that the wind is going to bring it back. And here we see Pearce jumping from behind. The right knee just buckles, landing straight-legged.
5-11. Carlton 7-8 North Melbourne, 9 points to margin. I think they're about to take Pearce's boot off, so it might be an ankle. You never know. As we see Hamill, yes, it could be an ankle the way they're looking at it. Bradley, in short, this is Whitehead, and they're checking that to see there's a break, I would say.
And McKernan back in the ruck, as we suggested, but Porter jumped over the top of him too. He's a very impressive looper at the centre bounces, Porter.
So Adrian Whitehead, kicking for his second of the game. A big kick again. Every kick for goal today is a pressure kick. 45 metres. Oh, that looks good. Beautifully kicked. It's a goal. Well, Carlton not to be outdone yet. There are 3 points now, the margin favour North.
Yes, and the players have started to just look a bit more able to get the ball through the goal. Sometimes on windy days, you just gradually get used to it, and by the time the third and fourth quarters come, you've adjusted your play for where the wind is taking the ball. But certainly centre-bounce contest between Porter and McKernan, very important.
Margin back to 3 points, North in front. Pearce off the ground. Matty Campbell?
Yes, it is the ankle injury, Drew, the extent of which they're not sure as yet, but they're very sure that they won't see him again today.
Well, it's a shame because he'd gone well. There's Porter getting a hand to it again. Scott for North. Dean. Oh, was that a throw by Porter? Lyon said the umpire. Sexton. Not much distance. Murphy, bad bounce for him. Blakey. Dean. Nothing in this game. Kutafides marks in between the centre and half forward. He wants to get it across and does to Clappe coming up from defence. Bradley inside the 50 to Whitehead, who kicked the last goal. He's kicked 2. O'Sullivan in front, 40 out. Oh, the hand pass Australia, they've lost it. Anthony Stevens for North. Still a chance for Murphy. Short pass, dropped short. Martin went through with everything.
That was a trip.
Oh, David King.
That was a definite trip on Silvani.
There was no whistle and Silvani's down hurt. Oh, Sexton paddles the ball out. Dean's hand pass to Clappe. Silvani up but limping. And the mark taken by Aaron Hamill.
Oh, he's unlucky not to get a free kick then.
There was definitely the legs got caught up and Silvani tripped over. I must say from where I saw it, I just wasn't sure exactly what happened, how intentional it was, but no doubt brought down by the legs was Silvani. Here it is. Well, not only that, I think you could. Well, let's see what happens when the umpires have a look at that after game. But nevertheless,
let's put it this way: it was a definite free kick to Silvani.
Can't argue with you there, Pete. Can't argue with that.
Have a look
He's
at
asking
this.
the same question.
Oh, goodness me.
Well, Diulio just got 4 weeks.
Exactly. It should have at least at minimum been a free kick, but still not paid. King to Carey. I don't know why they're hurting him. Probably because he's a champion. Oh, good mark. This is the man they need firing north of there to definitely win this game. Archer goes forward. This is Crocker. Crocker from outside 50, bends it back. It's a race. Oh, north if it sits, it's a goal. Peter Bell. Yes! The Carlton player fell over.
That was Rice. Rice was chasing Bell. I don't know what Rice has done to himself. He looked like he stumbled, but quite possibly he's... well, what has he done? Has he done a muscular injury? Is the knee collapsed? Let's have a look at this. Crocker gathers the ball. He'll drive it at the goals, and Bell will be leading Rice in the race for the ball, and Rice just goes crutch. It's just like he lost his balance. Easy goal to Bell in the end. May have hit his face on the ground.
And I think that maybe when he tripped over Rice, his jaw has come down on the heel of Peter Bell.
Very unusual. Let's have a look at it. He certainly trips over. Or maybe it is the heel, Drew. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, very painful.
So I'm glad it's not a knee for Dean Rice. He's had enough of those. Camporelli back on the ground for Rice, who goes for some treatment. Bit of blood there.
It was a vital goal, wasn't it, in the context of this game?
Rice got a kick to the jaw. 8 points the margin, North Melbourne in front, and in the last minute of the third quarter, Dean slaps the ball across to Clappe. Well done, Porter, dishing the ball out. Kernahan, a chance for a goal here. Stephen Kernahan centres. Hamill gets off the hand pass to O'Sullivan, and he gets it! Oh, what a game! 2 points the margin.
Yes, and both sides have started to find their way through for goal. Not certainly a high-scoring situation still, but all of a sudden the goals are just starting to gradually come. And North, every time they've got that margin, Carlton come back. It's a bit of a game, this. It's a fantastic contest. Let's have a look, a close-up look at it. Yes, I think the chin on the back. Well spotted, Drew Morford.
No doubt about Drew Morford. 2 points the difference. McKernan, fresh air shot. Archer goes to ground. The umpire sensibly will bounce this as the time clock ticking down to three-quarter time. What a last quarter we'll have. At the moment, North lead by 2 points, and it'll probably be that because, as the umpire bounces it, this is Mark Nash. McKernan, there's the siren. A terrific third term here at Optus Oval. The two tough, evenly matched sides. It can go any way, Lee.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the scores are tight. They're tight on the scoreboard. 2 point margin to North Melbourne, but it's tight in general play as well. It's just a matter of who can take their half chances, who can make the most of those just sniffs they have when they get into their forward line. And that quarter, North did it just a little bit better, so they've earned their lead at three-quarter time. They probably are coming home to the end advantage by the breeze slightly, but in all honesty, I think mostly it's a cross breeze, so this is absolutely anyone's game.
Well, let's have a look at Dean Rice. Tripping and copping it.
You
right
can be unlucky, can't you? That is the definition of unlucky. When you fall over, you stumble, and the face goes onto the heel of the player in front of you.
Well, at half-time, Carlton led by 4 points, but in that term, North kicked 4-4 to 3-4, and they lead by 2 points at the last change. These two heavyweights set to fight it out right to the final bell in half an hour's time. 2 points the margin starting the last term. Clappe bounces one out to Koutafidis. A kick a little bit too far. Oh, but it's come up all right. Knocked on by Clappe, and Kernahan to Clappe. Well done, Anthony Stevens. Blakey, and out of trouble. Simpson, centre of the ground. Porter, overrun by that. Scholl, plenty of blues here. Hand pass came out, Ratton. There's going to be a free kick advantage, and it goes to Hickmott up to the 50. Man in front, but the whistle had gone before it arrived. And it's a free kick to Carlton. Hamill.
In towards Silvani. Mickey Martin in front, punches the ball to the line in front of the Social Club. That's been enthralling Jules. Silvani has kicked 2, but Martin has done well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's kept Silvani down to a handful of possessions. He's kicked a couple of goals, 4 kicks, 1 handball, and certainly when there's been a genuine contest, Mickey's been able to come out and spoil effectively.
Steve Kernahan and John Longmire taken by O'Sullivan. A chance here for Hickmott. He tries to bend it back. He puts it straight up in the air, close to the boundary lines of the mark or out in the full. It's a mark to O'Sullivan, who plays on, kicks a goal, hits the post, I feel. Yes. Bad luck to the Blues. Now the margin is 1 solitary point. And when you look at the shots, 20 to 16 in favour of Carlton.
Well, at half-time, the free kicks were 17 to 9 in favour of Carlton. At three-quarter time, 19 to 9. So only 2 free kicks paid in the third quarter, after a spate of them in the first half. Well done, Simpson. Scholl has it punched away by Camporelli. Scott hoiks the ball out. Bradley gets a bad bounce. Oh, Carey! Brilliant play by Carey. Off to Roberts. What great play by the skipper. But Roberts lets us down and kicks it behind.
And I think Carey's up forward again. He's sort of gone up and back a little bit, but Longmire now back on Kernahan. Carey sent forward to see if he can win the game. A goal or 2 would just about do it.
I think good thinking by Dennis Pagan. They really do have to have a top-class tall forward. Here's Andrew McKay, who's probably been close to Carlton's best player.
An interesting move to bring it out this side. This is so much the attacking side for North. Carlton have taken the punt.
Sexton to the half-forward line. Chandler will swoop at the back and go for the big punch. Blakey did well to get a hand to it. Dean is there. That's almost kicking in danger. Back it comes to Hamill. They've got the loose man going here. Murphy, the bounce important. Murphy breaks the tackle. Cross it comes to Hickmott. He centres it and finds Dean. Thought about going. Peter Dean just outside 50. He's desperate to give it off short here. He's looking for someone. Kernahan's leading to the left. And I still think he wants to go short, but he hasn't got an option.
They've been kicking good distance down this end. It's not out of the question he's going to make the distance okay, but it is a long kick to keep accurate.
He still wants to give it off short there. Now he's hooking it to the pocket. And a good mark taken there by Adam Simpson. A nice mark, and I think they mucked around with it too long then. They would have been better off getting it down quickly. Roberts. At half back for North. Centre wing. Crocker. Punched away, and that was by Milhana. Throw in right on the true centre wing position with the margin 2 points in favour of North.
In this situation, we've spoken a few times about midfield. The Bradley situation, Scott's still trying to get onto Bradley. Bradley's still trying to get onto Stevens. That's been happening the entire game.
North into attack. Carey busts the pack open. Didn't get first touch. Sexton. Very high kick. Porter underneath it. He's after it again. Looks a bit like Harry Madden. Man who replaced on the list of 42. Oh, Roberts in the clear. He missed the last one. This time he passes it to Carey. Carey over the top. Crocker. Oh, just. Oh. Oh, nobody wanted to kick the goal.
Boy, that's hold your breath stuff. Well, I think it's so hard to score, and Roberts did the right thing. He gave it to Carey. Crocker was alone in the goal square, but as soon as the ball went to ground, let's have a look at it here. The ball goes to Roberts. He's going to pop it over the top to Carey. That's fine. Well, Carey knows there's a spare North Melbourne player there, but as soon as the ball bounces, well, then you've got to pick up a bouncing ball. And Crocker, a little soccer to finish it finally.
The margin is 8 points after a bit of drama down there in the goal square. I don't think Crocker was prepared for that hand pass and thought Carey would have a shot, so wasn't looking. There's the kick from Anthony Stevens down to the half-forward line. Carey scoops on it. Here he comes. He chips a goal, kicks into the man coming towards him. Well played, Robert Scott. Carey and Peter Bell. Bell races in the goal. Bang! Puts it through the middle. He's kicked 2.
Well, that was the classic situation with Carey then. He wanted to get as close to the goals as he could, because you know that even a 30-metre shot's a difficult one, and of course he ran too close and the ball was smothered. You have a look at this. He's trying to get as close as he can. Good play by Mackay. He made him. He didn't leave his opponent too quick. But good play also by Scott. He went in. He got the loose ball. Fed it out. Bell did the finishing. So North all of a sudden 14-point lead. A good margin at this point.
What about the role Wayne Carey has played in this last quarter? He's going to centre half forward, a real arm wrestle for 3 quarters. It's been Wayne Carey who's busted it open. Here's Scott, high to 50. Hogg and Allison, the 233s. Allison's had a great day. Bouncing to Crocker, slides it to Carey. Here's the king. Oh, what a goal!
That's what great players are all about, I think, Drew. He's gone forward, Wayne Carey. Can't say that he's dominated the game. What he's done is 3 really good bits apart in the flow of the game. It's all it takes, someone to just do that something a little bit special. Fed the hand pass on her, but this time it's just a quick kick off the outside of the boot. Curled it back in, good goal.
Well, some desperation play by North out there. Allison was terrific, and then Carey topped it off with a beautiful kick, as Lee said, off the side of the outside, was sometimes called a check side. It was terrific play. Here's Hannah. North really coming home with a flourish, and Matt Campbell might be right. He said the body language at 3/4 time said North, and they're coming home with a wet sail.
Carey 6 possessions in the first 7 minutes of the term.
Yeah. Well, I think it was always he was going to come forward at some stage in the game, but probably good thinking by Dennis Pagan to start him off as centre-back and run straight at the ball. Now here's a free kick back in this ruck contest. We'll go to the young player Mark Porter.
Playing in just his 2nd game and replacing the great Justin Madden on the Blues list of 42. Off the rookie list, just 18 years of age. Kick by Porter. To half forward. They got underneath it. Here's King for North. Might be the subject of some video scrutiny during the week. Hand pass missed Roberts. That hand pass by Sexton found Schwass. Light rain starting to fall at Optus Oval now, but a howling wind across the ground. Schwass. Oh, McKernan!
Oh, isn't that strong hands? Isn't that strong hands? When the ball's floating in the air, but he just went cluck. That's a fantastic mark. Have a look at this. Strong hands. The spoil was there. I mean, really, Porter did everything he could. He got the arm so that to try and pull McKernan's hands away from the ball, but as soon as he touched the ball in, McKernan, they were strong, weren't they? He had him.
It's he and Stewie Lowe are the same, aren't they? They just bang, and it's hard to punch him.
Well, we're looking behind Corey McKernan as he kicks from 65 metres. Won't make it. Crocker! Off hands. Archer's back in business. Bell's kick 2. He dishes it off. Anthony Stevens. Ratton for Carlton. Not as prominent this week as he was last against the Bombers. Bradley. Oh, Wayne Schwass. Breeze at his back from this side, but a bit of protection from the stand. Good distance, though. Carey wrestles them out, setting a path for Crocker. Off hands to Cooter. Whitehead. Dangerous kick. Oh, might come off. Clap, eh? Sexton.
Centre wing. The race is on. Chandler gets there first. It comes off his boot. I think North will be quite happy with that to see it over the line.
That last kick of McKernan's, he wasn't actually having a shot at goal. What he was trying to do was just lob the ball about 15 metres out from goal, and Crocker had the spot but didn't take it.
Monday night, the great Chris Grant from the Western Bulldogs on Talking Footy around the country Monday night.
Yes, one of the best players in AFL, of course, Chris Grant. There's Hamill getting it to Cooter Feedes. He drives it long. They need a couple of quick goals. The Blues are falling down up forward. Silvani lays the tackle. The ball comes loose. Kick by Blakey. Way out towards the half-back line and the safety of the boundary line, and over it goes. So there's Brett Chandler, former Fitzroy. Well, he was a bit of everything at Fitzroy. Half forward, around the centre area. So So Dennis Pagan there. He'll be happy with this quarter. They've been terrific. Longmire has the ball held in by Steve Kernahan there. Just not getting a lot out of Steve at the moment. Just not getting the ball.
Well, again, I mean, Longmire's there now, but Carey's been well on top, as is Martin. So Carlton's problem all day is that their key position forwards have, I'd say, been beaten.
Well, is this the season on the line for the Blues? David Parkin on the phone. Kernahan applying a tackle. Koutafidis, centering kick. Outside the 50. Well done by Robert Scott. They got plenty of run, the Kangaroos. David King. Working it to the attacking side. That's good play. He can get some distance from here. Floats it over the top to Roberts. He can go a bit further. In fact, he could kick it from 55. And he's given it straight up to the opposition after all that.
We saw the problem when a player bounces the ball forward, as King does. The forwards don't know what to do. And eventually a player kicks the ball, but they're all out of position.
Dean's hand pass to Hickmott. In this quarter, North have kicked 3-1 to 1 point. And they lead by 20 at the moment. Can the Blues come back? We have 12 minutes remaining in the game. Hannah to Ratton from the centre circle. Inside 50, Bradley. Well done, Martin, who left Silvani to get to Bradley. But Silvani got the ball. Now Kernahan. Kuda! Oh, he can't break the tackle. Across the face of goal, chance for Hamill. Ball still in, but seen over by King and through for a point.
Good play by David King. Safety first. Still plenty of time for the Blues, but the way North are playing, it'd be a big surprise if they could get up from here. It's a funny game, football. It can all turn around in the space of a couple of minutes. David King. The umpire will give him the warning now, so he has to kick it, and he kicks it long. A nice low trajectory kick. And they're the big hands of McKernan. Umpire said he pushed out Mark Porter. He gives it to Bradley. Bradley brings it in towards half forward. They need a mark. They need a couple of quick goals. It's a free kick to North. Over the shoulder, listen to the ironical cheers as Brett Chandler will take it and chip it out wide. He finds Adam Simpson.
McKernan gets underneath the ball and Porter takes the mark. The kid does look good. Koutafidis into Ratton at centre half forward. Kernahan leading. Silvani giving something. Martin with Silvani all the way. Anthony Stevens out to centre wing. Crocker well up the ground. Oh, he almost kept it in straight for Hickmott, but just took the ball over the line. 75 plays 56, North by 19 points, just under 11 minutes left. Coming up for viewers in New South Wales, the game live from the SCG between the Swans and the Western Bulldogs. That game due to start about the time this one finishes.
Crocker is off the ground and Stuart Anderson on as Mark Roberts has marked at half forward. He chips it across. They're off and running now. David King, good play. He'll bang it long with a 70-metre kick. That's a huge kick. Oh, what a great goal! I think that's it for Carlton now. They'd have to be a good side to win it from here.
Yeah, they have to kick 5 goals to win. Don't think they can do that. But David King, he's become a very, very good player this last 12 months of AFL football. Again, Mark Roberts set up the kick, gave it inside to King. This time he did definitely put the ball out to the left. You could see where the marking players were going, but the wind's brought it back. And a lovely long goal.
David King, magnificent long goal. 19 possessions he's had, and that was his first goal.
Craig Scholl being asked to leave the field by umpire Sawyers. I think that bit of blood on the hand, maybe, and that's on the jumper. Doesn't need much, only needs a drop or two. That's all that counts.
Could be just on the Guernsey and the shorts.
Yep.
Maybe he needs a change of gear. Mightn't even be his blood.
Shorts.
This will be a bit of a hold-up. Crocker comes on and has got to get to position before the umpire can start the game. Matty Campbell?
Yes, true. Straight off with the shorts. Not embarrassed at all. It's just a bit of blood on the bottom of the jumper and the shorts.
Well,
You need the property room out on the bench there these days. You've got to, as you've seen here, he's had to change his complete outfit to get rid of the bloody garment.
Now we're back in the middle. North with what appears to be a winning break. Ratton, deft little hand pass out. Bradley's kick to the 50. Oh, good use of the body by Chandler. It doesn't look as though there's too much to him, but he is strong as wire. Off to King, who loves to go for these runs. Scholl just back on the ground with a new pair of shorts and a new jumper. Magnificent. And a good long kick. Archer, punch away by McKay. Allison has been scintillating on the forward line. Kicked North's first 5 goals. This time into Blakey. High ball. Here comes the King, but Sexton leads him. And the ball out.
Throw in about 20 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. There's Glenn Archer, who's had a very quiet game, which is just says how well his opponent Andrew McKay has played. Carey to take on Sexton. Just under the 10-minute mark left. Taken away here by John Blakey. Up in the air it goes. A chance for the high flyers. Thumped away by the Carlton defence. It was Andrew McKay. Robert Scott's been good. A quick kick at goal, bounce, touched I would think. Maybe not. This is a goal. I thought it was touched. I'm sure Matty Hogg touched that.
Yes, it's a similar incident to the third quarter, wasn't it? When Kernahan kicked the goal, David King was positive he touched the ball. I must say, even on the screen here on the replay, it looked very... Have a look at this. I think Hogg touched it. Have a look. Well, as I say, with those incidental touches, when it's only the fingertips involved, I must say on most occasions, to my experience, those get paid goals and the touch is ignored.
And Hogg and Allison with opposing views, both appealing. It's our way. McKernan beats Porter, but Porter lays the tackle. Just under 9.5 minutes left, and the Carlton fans are starting to file out of Optus Oval. So this will be 3 defeats at home in 1 season for the Blues. And prior to this year, they'd lost 1 game here in 3 years. Previous losses to this were against Geelong and the Western Bulldogs. Knocked forward Carlton's way. Rice is back on with bleeding to the inside of his mouth, and Dean Rice will take a free kick.
Almost impossible now for the Blues as Rice brings it in towards the half-forward line. Kernahan at the back, he just can't take a mark because they're wearing him so closely and just punching the ball every time he puts the hands up.
Lee, can North win the flag from here once they win this?
Well, there's only a game or 2 between. I mean, they've got, if they win today, which they look like they will, there's 5 games to go, and if they can win 3 of the 5, they've got a reasonable chance of finishing top 4.
Well, here's another free kick at a bounce. And another one to the Blues. Going to Mark Porter. There didn't seem to be much in that, but Porter is going short. Mickey Martin, well, he's won that contest.
Absolutely, yes. He has actually got the front position against Steve Silvani, and really every time it's gone down, Mick's been getting to the front, or he's been just having his body against Silvani, so you're well on top of that, Jim.
Mick might be trying to say to Steve Silvani, I should have been fullback of the century, Drew.
Yeah.
We see that fearsome sight of Mickey Martin. Drives it to centre wing. Sexton read it well, didn't hang on to it, but the umpire's going to pay it.
Well, Silvani's been such a goal kicker. In his last 3 games, he's kicked 6, 6 and 5. Today he's kicked 2 from 5 kicks. Martin's had 5 kicks as well.
Kernan puts himself in front of Kernahan. How have you rated his game? Corey McKernan, Lee?
I think he's been pretty good. Not dominating, but pretty good. He's done his job. Marked the ball fairly strongly, and I said not conditions for those big, strong marking players.
Here's Craig Scholl to Schwass. Still in play, and he gains 30 metres. In fact, he finds Allison. This is good play. Back to Schwass. Excellent play. Anthony Stevens will be caught. Oh, he breaks the tackle. Good play by Stevens. Oh, Simpson is caught. He loses it. Taken by Hamill. Hamill will bring it out wide. He's looking out here for Ratton.
Kernahan doing the shepherding for Ratton, but he didn't really keep the tackler away.
I think one of the problems that Carlton have got playing Stephen Silvani at full forward is I think Stephen Kernahan really now struggles to have the real mobility to play centre half forward. So he's done the job the last few weeks as a goal kicker, Silvani, but, you know, regardless of what his capabilities are, Kernahan, I still think full forward is probably now his best position. Whether he's good enough to play it at a high level, that's another point.
Sexton keeps it low, and Ratton takes the mark. Kick by Ratton inside 50, and Clappe marks. Nat Clappe, who replaced Greg Williams in the selected side. Murphy leads in short. Clappe ignores it. He goes for height and distance. And it's punched through for a minor score. You think the Blues might have to make the hard decision about Kernahan at the end of the year?
I think he's apparently played quite well the last week or two, but I do think he's well on the downhill of a great career, no doubt about that. What next year holds, well, that's a decision they'll make at the end of the year between them.
I heard John Elliott say on Talking Footy that the players, the champion players, make their own decision on that lease.
Well, I think that's ridiculous. Players get paid a lot of money these days. I think match committees make decisions on players, not players themselves.
Yep. Martin Pike gets it further afield. Sexton latches onto it and then puts it out in the full. So there's a bit of sting gone out. Well, not a bit. A lot of sting has gone out of the Carlton side now as Wayne Schwass lopes away with the football and drives it long with a beautiful looking kick. No mark. Carey again not putting those arms up, trying to take it on the chest.
That left arm doesn't go up, does it?
No.
I mean, all that was a simple situation of jumping at the ball with both hands up in front of his face, and the left arm just doesn't come up.
So umpire Rowan Saws to bounce just outside 50. North has been dominant in this final term. There's Anderson running hard at the ball. That's Porter. And another bounce will take place.
Nevertheless, as I think Wayne Carey's playing with about 1.5 arms in terms of his shoulder flexibility, but he's still been a very good player. Not 100% in his capabilities physically, but still been a very good player.
6 marks, 17 possessions. McKay, nearly beaten the votes, Andy McKay. Beats Archer again. Glenn Archer, potentially such a dangerous player, had 2 kicks for the day.
Yes, and the Carlton people for many years now have fancied that Andrew Mackay is always capable of stitching up Glenn Archer.
Here's Archer. Well, this time he hand passes. Carey. Oh, it's pretty close. Just off, I think. And behind. Well, look at how Stephen Silvani at fullback has just time after time cleaned up Gary Ablett.
Yes, great players have certain records against other very good players, and certainly probably Mackay Archer is in that situation.
The North Melbourne bench, Glenn Freeborn is there, Darren Crocker. Now, Bradley, who's been pretty well contained, he's got touches, but hasn't been he's had 16 kicks and 3 handballs, but hasn't been that explosive Bradley that we know that can cut you to pieces. Here's Hamill. Koutafidis. He's had plenty of the ball also. He goes wide. He's looking for McKay. It should sit for him. It does. And he's bringing it back inside. It was an ordinary kick, but it favours his teammate in Sexton. Here's Bradley. Bradley comes back inside. The mark taken by Ratton. They're not going far though. Hamill. Free kick up the field against Schwass. So Kernahan will take this about 70 metres from the Carlton goal.
And that free kick tally now 25 to Carlton, 11 to North Melbourne. Just any North Melbourne supporters who have complaints.
Well, here's McKay having a shot for goal. And I think he has blazed away and missed too. He has. And maybe he's saying, I'll go down and show you how to kick a goal.
Surprising that the margin's got out to 5 goals. There's no stage during the day that it looked like ever being a 5-goal game. Archer's off, and Crocker's back on for North. Good juggling mark by Simpson. Caught it like Bobby Simpson. Just behind the wing. Just under 4 minutes remaining. Gee, David King has run like a marathon runner today. Has covered the park. McKernan using his body, got rid of Porter, but gave away the free.
Well, at least they've been the consistent the umpires. Any player who's been pushed into a body contest has pushed into a body contest today, and marking has been penalised.
So Mark Porter to centre wing. Hamill flies in front. Simpson tried to get in a hand pass. That was Hamill. Taken away by Scholl to Swass. Swass kicks it up high in towards the forward line. Over the back, Sexton read it beautifully. Good, solid, reliable player, Michael Sexton. He kicks to a one-on-one contest. Clappe. There's two North Melbourne players, so they had to win out. One is Pike. Pike tries to bend it back. Oh, Carey used his body beautifully then. And McKay again hits it out with a quick hand pass. Now Ratton to Bradley. Oh, David King he had a terrific final term as he brings it in towards full forward. Oh, courage was needed there. North a chance. Crocker bends it back. Bounce. Goal.
Well, just back on the ground to replace Archer, and he's kicked 2 goals in the last
Just
term.
the margin, isn't it? Yes, they've been good, strong. Their 50-metre work, forward 50-metre work's been excellent. David King has just run and drove the ball forward to that spot. That's where North Melbourne kicked the ball to that spot, 15, 20 metres out from goal, and then they congregate to that area, the crumbing players. This time it was Crocker. He really is a straight runner, David King.
Well, this is a real surprise now. McKernan gets it to Scott, and they're hungry for more with 2.5 minutes left. Allison might finish like he started. Into Carey. Get back him. Wayne Carey! Offline, away to the right.
I'm just saying, the penetration of David King's play is quite magnificent, I believe. He just runs straight, tends to run back in through the centre corridor, the centre part of the ground whenever possible, and then on the end of it, he'll kick those 50, 60-metre long driving kicks. Very penetrating defender. His form's been so good. Played for Victoria State of Origin this year. He has become a top-grade defender.
And also, those sort of players are fantastic when you're on the forward line, Lee, because they kick it so far and so quickly do they get it to you, and he kicks low trajectory kicks also.
They don't hang in. They don't hang in the air. Looks like the ball's disappeared into the crowd. Yes, but the ball gets there quickly, doesn't it? Yeah. So the forward can lead for the ball and
often get one out.
Yeah.
And coming up for viewers in New South Wales, coming up shortly at the completion of this game, the Swans against the Western Bulldogs, live from the Sydney Cricket Ground. A feast of sport because the All Blacks and the Wallabies after that from the MCG. Sexton juggles. And it's a North Melbourne free, and the North fans in that part of the ground reckon, thank goodness, we haven't had one all day.
I tell you, you'd think it was a different game than early in the year on these interpretations. I'm not even saying that's not a free kick, but earlier in the year, players were allowed to ease their opponent under the ball from the back position. But on today's performance, looks like the rules have changed again.
So John Blakey couldn't make the distance from there. This is the 20 metres from goal. Carey up with one hand to punch down. Anderson! Whistle had gone. It's going to be a Carlton free kick to Sexton against Carey.
Yeah, lucky it's not a 50-metre penalty because he heard the whistle and then went on with it. Sexton. Rice. Players just loping after it now. Not that urgency. Free kick to Clappe. Another free kick in a contest.
I reckon there's been
unbelievable.
Like 20 free kicks in marking contests today.
Centre of the ground is Murphy. He received that one from Adrian Whitehead. There's Silvani making a lead. Not a decisive one. No mark. Porter was the man who went for it. He's showing a bit of promise. Here he is again. Oh, doesn't he love this? David King. There's the bounce. And then he's got that explosive pace and it gets him clear. He's able to deliver it to Stevens.
Quick steps, aren't they, Peter? Takes very short, quick steps, David King, but accelerates very well because of that motion.
Well, it's Danny Stevens giving it across to Anthony Stevens. And I'm just wondering why he's not wearing that helmet. Now on to Blakey. They're just running the clock down. There's 40 seconds left in this game.
Well, they came in level on 8 wins apiece. North 8th on the ladder and Carlton 10th place on the ladder, separated by percentage. And North have won the arm wrestle and got on top in this last quarter. They came into this last term leading by just 2 points, and now it's 95 to 58. Carlton are goalless in this last quarter. Here, Johnny Longmire. Offline with the kick, missed everything. Got out of bed on the wrong side, I reckon, this morning, John Longmire. Be a boundary throw-in with just seconds remaining on the clock. So North Melbourne will give themselves a chance of being able to defend their title, last year's premiers. They're on the borderline, but where does it place Carlton now? Carey tries to take clean possession. Sexton been a grand defender. Hannah. Pike. Kick smothered by McKay. Over his shoulder by Scholl, but he didn't beat the siren. And that is, yeah, he gave him a point for it. Umpire said all clear. So what a victory by North Melbourne. And the premiers, who had lost 3 games in a row.